Good morning. This is the beginning of the end. About to start the last section of the Great Divide Trail. Heading out of Jasper, got a 22-kilometer road walk to start the day, which isn't fun, but it'll give me some time to tell you a little bit about the crazy week that we have ahead of us. So this next section of trail is 8 days long. So that's an 8-day food carry. My pack has never been heavier. With the food and then all the extra gear that I picked up, I'm sitting at well over 30 pounds, but the pack's carrying it well and it fit everything, which is awesome. This next section is just the most remote and wild section of the entire trail. It doesn't really see anyone other than Great Divide Trail through hikers for large sections of it. It's overgrown in lots of parts. There's huge river crossings. Like, we'll see the deepest river crossings for sure on this section, and there's lots of them. Some that I've heard you have to swim, and yeah, and then compounding all of that is just the consequence of things going wrong. Because it's so remote, the bailout points aren't really bailout points. Other sections you could hike out within the same day if you need to bail out for certain parts, but this section, at best, you're looking at a day or two of hiking out in order to bail. So if you're in a really bad emergency situation, helicopter is your only choice. And even then, if it's raining or snowing or nighttime, you're not getting a helicopter, and things can get dicey really quickly. That being said, I'm feeling really well prepared to get out on trail. I got all the gear that I need in Jasper in order to stay safe and comfortable and warm. And physically, I'm feeling really good. My shin splints are still acting up. It's probably gonna be a factor for the rest of the trail, but it's healed a little bit, and an ibuprofen or two still allows me to push really big miles. And luckily, on this next section, I don't have any really big days and not a ton of elevation. It's mostly gonna be dealing with the rivers, the overgrown trail, and just remoteness and wildness of the trail. I've never been in better hiking shape in my entire life. So I think if there's any time that I'm gonna be able to pull off finishing the GDT, this is it. I'm excited to get out there, take on what the trail has to throw at me, and yeah, try and finish strong. Just walking down the highway, me and my buds. The hardest part with this road walk is walking slow enough. I don't want to aggravate my shin splints, so I'm trying to keep it down to a 4-kilometer-an-hour pace. But my legs want to go at 6 kilometers an hour. So yeah, just trying to take it easy. Luckily I have my watch to keep track of my pace. Without that, I'd probably be going a little bit too fast and potentially re-injuring myself a little bit more. So I'm off the highway. That was pretty mind-numbing, walking on there onto this logging road for a little bit before we hit the trail. And I've just been thinking about how crazy it is to be here. Like 8 days left. 8 days left. I'm on the final section of trail. There's been so many times where I've just been like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to Jasper, never mind past Jasper. So this feels really special. And I feel really good. I'm confident. I know I'm pretty sure I've said that after every single 0 day so far, but like, I've just had so much thrown at me every section, almost every single day, and being able to kind of overcome it and just carry on is, yeah, definitely instilled a lot of confidence in me. And I feel ready to see what each day has in store for me over the next 8 days. Enjoy these last few days, and yeah, finish off the GDT and complete this pretty big challenge in my life. We're off the easy trail onto a little bit more of a difficult trail with a lot of deadfall on it. And with this pack, today's a tough day. My pack, like I said, is the heaviest it's ever been. And I think some of you are probably wondering, like, why not take more days to do the trail and like stop and smell the roses, as some say. And there's a handful of reasons why. First one being that I want to challenge myself. I want to move the needle with regards to my backpacking confidence and experience. And so far, I've been pushing my limits right up to the limits. So that's been really, really good fulfilling that goal. Another one is I didn't want to be away from Steph for that long. Call me needy, but that's just the way it is, as well as my friends, family, life. Just a long time to be away, to take more days to do the trail and work. I don't think I would have been able to step away from work for that long. And then finally, just like, I think I would have gotten bored. Honestly, having 10 to 12 hour days of hiking has been perfect for me. Just enough time on trail, just enough time in camp. There's only one day where I felt rushed, and that was the day where my shin splints were really acting up and I had to really take my time. And on that day, there's a couple spots where I wish I could have stopped and smelled the roses a little bit more, but because I had to keep moving, I wasn't able to. Every other day, I haven't felt rushed, so that hasn't really been an issue for me at all on the trail so far. But hopefully that answers your question as to why I didn't take more time to do the trail, slow down, do 20-kilometer days, 30-kilometer days instead of mostly 35 to 45. That's why. Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under again. Just before we get to camp, I want to swing back to something that I mentioned on the 0 day, and that's how happy I have been with all of my gear. Other than a couple things I switched out in Coleman, like the Cation B-free filter, and then I added some things in Jasper in order to be warmer and safer on trail. Everything's been amazing. It's allowing me to put in big miles. It's reducing my injuries. It's allowing me to be comfortable on trail. And for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, it's probably not really a surprise to you. You know that a lot of this gear I've been using for multiple years. And the GDT is in my backyard. So these are the kind of trails that I'm on. So the gear has been tested in the right environments. And that's why it's performing well for the most part. And even gear that is relatively new to me, like the Ultiplex tent, I got it out on over a dozen nights before starting the GDT. So even that was a little bit tested before coming out here. So that's, if you are wondering about all the gear that I'm using, all the clothing that I'm wearing, the food that I'm eating, then I do have links in the video description that you can go check out and have videos about that. I do get some questions every now and again from people asking what gear I'm using. So if you're unaware, go check out those videos because I talk about everything that I'm using and why I'm using it. I just filled up both my water bottles at this little stream that you can hear here to my left. And I just want to share with you guys that I usually do that every time. If I'm within a kilometer of my campsite and I encounter a really good stream for getting water, then I'm gonna fill up both my water bottles. So that way, if I do get to camp and it's either at like a lake or a river that I'd have to filter at, then I can avoid filtering. And sometimes at some of the campsites, the water source is a ways away. So it's good to, I like to fill up and then just get to camp with water so I don't need to worry about it until morning. Made it to camp, got things set up underneath this tree here. Really nice day. I'm gonna appreciate it because 6 of the next 7 days call for either rain or snow. So things are gonna get interesting out there, especially once we start getting into some of the willow bashing and having to go through those sections because you just get so cold because you get so wet. And luckily I picked up some new gear. Hopefully it's enough to get me through the next sections. It's gonna be an adventure.